life during the shearers' strike. I raced along the isolated streets, heart pounding in my chest. Oh no, I thought. I was going to be late again. My teacher, Mr. Cooper, was not going to be happy. I had been helping Mother wash the clothes all morning and had not noticed the time, but it was too late. My father was on strike and we had very little money, definitely not enough to pay for our needs. My 5 siblings and I were starving. It seems as though life in the 1890s was unendurable. Living in a small house in the town of Barcaldine, Queensland, we watched as the shearers went on strike and protested. I loathed school and couldn't wait to get a job to support my family. Although Mother had already taken innumerable jobs, there still wasn't enough money. Father was a shearer on strike and wouldn't work until the pastoralists gave them better living conditions. Mother's health was ailing, and I longed to help her, but she would hear none of it. Because, according to her, I was too young. I guess that was true, considering the fact that I was only 9 years old. Still, I can't sleep at night when I hear Mother counting the money every single day. Although I try to sneak out of school frequently, every time I get caught. It is so frustrating. Why won't Mother let me have a job when she's working so hard? I wish the strike would end soon so that Father can start working and earn some money. The pastoralists are so ill-natured. I mean, why don't they just give the shearers better living conditions so both sides can start working? Today at school, when Mr. Cooper had his back turned to me and the door was open, I seized the opportunity. Unbelievably, he didn't catch me. I sprinted along the streets. Ecstatically, I tried the shearer shed for a job as a tar boy. Sorry, Sonny, we ain't have any jobs, was my reply. I was discouraged, but I kept walking. Just along the corner was a sweet shop, and it turned out that they needed an extra worker. I couldn't believe my luck. I asked how much I would be paid, and my answer was 5 shillings every week. I thought I had misheard. 5 shillings was a lot of money then. I told the story of our family to the owner, Mr. Smith, and he took pity on me. He gave me sweets to take home to my family and my siblings. Take some sweets home every week, he said, to share with your family. I thought that this man was very tender-hearted. Content with my new job, I strolled along the streets. Passing the horse shed, I overheard people talking about needing to hire an odd job boy. My heart almost leapt out of my chest. I scrambled inside to ask for a job. Of course, the young boy that exclaimed enthusiastically. So my job was decided. I would feed the horses carrots at 8 a.m. every day. Just then, I remembered something my mother had always told me. Just as I did in the candy store, I asked the managers about my salary. After considering and chatting among themselves for a moment, a penny a day was their answer. I thought Mother would be very proud of me indeed. Or would she? Before they could change their minds, I hastily ran home. Mother was not happy to see me. She had heard of me running away from school, but I changed her mood almost instantly. Guess what, Mother? I found a job at the old candy store down the street. I'm getting paid 5 shillings every week. Mother's face broke into a big grin. I continued, and I get to take home sweets every week for the family. How cool is that? Before waiting for an answer, I exclaimed, the people in the horse shed also hired me, and I'm getting paid a penny every single day. I eventually stopped out of breath as I waited for my mother to take in what I had just said. She was very pleased with me indeed, and and I knew exactly why. You probably remember that I told you in the very beginning that my family has a hard time paying for our needs, so every single penny counts. That's why I really wanted to get a job for my family, to help. Lying in bed that night, I couldn't wait for tomorrow. Usually, I dreaded the idea because it meant another day at school, but not this time. Life couldn't have been better. Wishing that the sheriff's strike would end soon, I drifted off to sleep. I was awoken by the high-pitched cry of the chirping birds, nature's alarm. I did a little victory dance and was out of the house in no time. When I got to the horse's shed, the carrots had already been laid on the bench, and a set of carefully placed instructions was on top. Feed the horses 5 pieces of chopped carrots every day. Wear your gloves and be ready for any emergencies. Good luck with your new job. I wondered what they meant by emergencies. Although the horse's mouth was very slobbery and slimy, I finished feeding them at lightning speed. I went to collect my shilling, and never had I been so proud of myself. Now it was time for some candy. The lights had just been turned on in the old candy store, and Mr. Smith, dressed in a white apron and a black top hat, smiled at me as I walked in. I instantly felt at home. The rainbow candies sat patiently on the massive wooden shelves, waiting to be sold to ravenous children. Patiently, I listened to the instructions from Mr. Smith. Do not do this, do not do that. You must do this, you must do that. I was so bored by the end of it that I felt like I was a sleepy sloth, even though I knew instructions were vital. Our first customer came around 20 minutes after the store opened. He was a schoolboy who seemed to have run out of school as well, with a red face from crying. He was so thin I could almost see his bones. It turned out he didn't have any money. I wondered what Mr. Smith would do. Give him a free sweet? I wasn't sure. In the end, Mr. Smith, being the sympathetic man that he is, gave the schoolboy a red gobstopper, one of my favorites. When the day was over, I was so tired I could barely walk. Arriving home just in time for supper, I was finally allowed to have a minute of rest. My mother had prepared a celebration dinner for me with all the money that she had scraped together. I was so grateful! Roast mutton with greens and mashed potatoes, as well as several slices of bread, was laid on our wooden table, with bright burning candles. The calm scene reminded me that I needed to be thankful for everything that I had: a home, a job, and something to eat. For the first time in my life, I felt proud that I was myself. I hoped the strike would end soon. I knew that we were extremely lucky. Okay, that is enough for me, and I'll see you all again very soon. I gotta go to feed the horses. Bye for now.